Okay, I have my hazmat suit on for this one because this roundabout of stupid has reached toxicity levels so high the patriarchy is jealous and Fallout is taking fucking notes. But I've braved the depths for you and have taken doses of ignoramus so high I might actually consider the fact that Hillary isn't fucking Satan and Trump is truly some kind of god emperor. But my hallucinations aside, and of course glossing over the fact I haven't been posting lately, let's dive head first into the deep end of the shallow-minded idiocy that plagues this world, shall we? Don't worry, you don't need floaties, and in all honesty, it would be better if you drowned. But alas, let us begin. First on the chopping block, and this is going to be a hot one, pardon the pun, we have a particular article about a YouTube channel of the same name. Coincidence? I think not. Actually, I planned that. So, yeah. Anyway, regardless. Hot Ones is an innocuous YouTube series that features celebrities eating hot wings, bathed in varying degrees of sauces that get hotter as the show goes on and the more topics that they discuss. It's a pretty decent show, and I enjoy it from time to time. It's something to pass the time, you just kind of watch it because it's kind of fun, but it's a good show, regardless. But it seemed to draw the ire of a certain person. Now, for the life of me, I can't imagine what a feminist could possibly find wrong with this show. I mean, it's not like most of them are perpetual victims who actively seek a reason to be offended, or perturbed for that matter. Of course not. For those unaware, that was completely fucking sarcasm. But hold on. I'm going to take a closer look into this and see exactly what the cardinal sin of this benign show is. And it is...
Bingo! Yahtzee! Is that your final answer? Our survey says God! Bing, 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 bing!
What the fuck kind of word salad is this? Did she have a stroke in the process of formulating this attempt of coherent thought? Her mother should have swallowed her. Wait, does that enforce gender binaries? What the fuck even is enforcing gender binaries? Regardless, for those feminists out there who have bore that title for ages, or even for those of you just getting on board of this already half-submerged ship, you'd best abandon that said ship because it has come to the point where even food is some form of oppression. Women are taught to eat dainty-like. How the fuck did you grow up? In my youth, everyone ate however much they could. Sure, the girls ate less, but girls tend to have less of an appetite than boys do. This isn't because society is forcing it upon you, you fucking unbelievably idiotic invalid. It's biology. For fuck's sake. Seriously. But anyway, now that we've gotten off the line, let's get into the second section of this Broadway show. As we lead up to the climax, and I myself climax, just kidding. Or am I? Questions for another time. But let us continue. For those unaware, Lauren Southern has visited Australia, and it caused quite a stir amongst the soy boys and perpetually triggered of the nation. But really, the thing that irritated me the most was this. Now, I'm not a big government person. I'm not even a big fan of civilians in a uniform acting like they're superior. However, charging a person for doing something that the taxpayers are already forced to pay for, and in turn, the service is supposed to be rendered, ergo, they're supposed to do their fucking job. This charge isn't only fraudulent, but also shows they're more than willing to not do their jobs if the funds weren't being collected. Sounds an awful lot like racketeering. Oh wait, it's a government doing it, so it's okay. Just remember, if you acted like your government did, you'd be in prison, folks. And this is your one time only Aggie PSA. Just the one time. I'm not going to tell you again. But all jokes aside, that's fucking pathetic. Seeing as Lauren herself discovered very few people even knew who she was.
Should we kill Lauren Southern? Should we kill Lauren Southern?
She's the blonde, political.
Yeah, she's the Nazi that's coming here with a far-right event.
I'm not sure if we should kill her, but I don't think we should be listening to what she's saying.
We kill Lauren Southern.
Why would we do that?
Because she's a hate speech espousing fascist.
Hate speech doesn't exist.
Hate speech and shut down the fascist event happening here on Friday in Melbourne.
Well, yeah, fuck fascism.
Fuck the racism, people.
But of course, some idiots had to come along and do what idiots do. Now, I'm usually the one that's stoned or drunk or sometimes both, so you know it's bad when I have to tell these hockey putts screaming slogans through a microphone and threatening violence isn't going to change the opposing side's opinion, you fucking mongoloids. How did we get here? Oh, wait. The atavistic belief that we are inherently right so long as we have a certain letter in front of our name, people unable to see that their politicians aren't infallible and are indeed flawed, as we all are, many would so soon as start a fight as talk with someone of a differing opinion. That is what is wrong. And that is how we got here. But anyway, we have 4 more topics to go, and I'm jonesing for a hit of my... Never mind. Anyway, next up is this. I can't... I don't... Just put it down like old Yeller. It's retarded. Look, if you want to stop all of these negative connotations, which, by the way, most people don't even know or care about, if you really want to stop it, then stop bringing it up. Most people my age at least partake in the occasional bowl of marijuana. It's only you overly sensitive, morally outraged babies who want to turn the reversal of draconian drug laws into a fucking race issue. And aside from that, if anyone should lay claim to weed, it's the fucking Asians. For fuck's sake. The plant is something that has been used by many cultures long before the drug wars were even started. Before they were even thought of. And like this is some kind of crusade to make it somehow whole white is not only idiotic, but counterintuitive to your intent of removing the racism from the fucking drug. Just leave people the hell alone is what I'm saying. Is that too much to ask? Or do some get some kind of sick sexual satisfaction out of getting their fifis hurt? Anyway, on to the next topic. And wait, what is that?
Fucking you. Nope. Out. Done. Fuck this shit. I'm out. I'm not getting knifed again.
Oh, well, no fucking shit. I thought that was my ex coming back to throw me in her basement. Whew. Don't mind me. Anyway, I'm sure this unique face has come across your view a few times. If not that, it's been in the periphery. She's a Democratic socialist running for Congress, backed by Sanders. Bernie Sanders, to be more specific. Now, a quick word about Democratic socialism. If I paint a turd gold, it's still a turd. Socialism is social, and Democratic socialism is socialism you can vote for. Isn't that bitter? But anyway, I'm more or less here to prove how naive she is. I'm going to say naive because she's a young, college brainwashed, educated, pseudo-intellectual. Exhibit A. For those of you following me on Twitter, and others like me, are more than aware of this stark contrast of worldview versus reality. This isn't how unemployment works. You don't get 2 gold stars for working 2 jobs. The Bureau of Labor Services only counts people who are not working and seeking work, you loopy cunt. Now, I knew that offhand. But if you didn't, I would take a brief. It would take a brief Google search to figure that out. So either she's just naive and ignorant, or willfully ignorant. The latter being far, far worse than the former. But wait, I have an Exhibit B. Another that you that follow me on Twitter would be aware of. Or if you're not, it may have come up in conversation. Now, there's more to this. She references the Kansas-Nebraska Act of 1854, which more or less allowed Kansas Territory to decide if it wanted to be pro or anti-slavery. Quite an interesting situation considering the Mason-Dixon line, but I'm not here for the history lesson. So the short story is, this act led to something called Bleeding Kansas, a border war, and that's overlooking voters crossing over to simply vote, and all of the fraud, needless to say, amongst other people getting paid off and shit, but needless to say, this isn't the kind of hill you want to die on in any circumstance. But she also preached some interesting entitlements while hinging off this emotional crestfall. Prepare.
I'm gonna kill myself.
For itemized retorts. And go. A. Nothing is free. It's paid for by tax. Taxes people will be paying until they die. B. The solution to his living wage, as you put it, isn't forcing employers to pay more, which then causes them to fire people to make up the loss, but is instead to reduce taxes so everyone, that includes the rich and the poor, has more money. You greedy socialist. C. Medicare is a failure. C. Shapiro. His wife is a doctor. But let's not forget that she ended with an appeal to slavery. You see, this is a common tactic those who are wise to speech and mannerism will use. They'll take their views and correlate them with something most people will view as generally good, such as the abolishment of slavery. So I can't help but feel like she's been fed information by certain people to push her political speech rather than relying solely on her own logic, because we all know Democrats weren't too happy when their slaves were freed. Just saying. But on to a lighter note. And the last topic of today's spectacular. Straws. Okay, that was anticlimactic. But let me continue. It seems that certain cities in California have come to the conclusion that banning straws is a good thing. Now, as far as I can tell, this is only in restaurants, diners, etc. that would normally serve them with a drink or whatever. But regardless, in this situation, they are forced to ask you, and if they don't, they are fined. Now, there's also the possibility of jail time.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Added on. You know, there's some kind of irony to be found in a state which illegals can vote and influence change, but a fucking straw is treated like a fucking crime. This is the kind of shit you'd expect from an incredibly liberal, secretly Marxist society to pull. Just imagine, you're hiding in your attic, straws strewn about as you drink your water when you hear a knock on the door downstairs. You answer it, and a SWAT team of straw investigators show up. Yes, that was an exaggeration. But seriously, fucking straws. All to curb environmental issues. LA is one of the most polluted cities. And let me tell you what. It isn't the fucking McDonald's straws that are causing the goddamn problem, you dumbasses. Fucking dumbasses. But regardless, that'll do it for this video. This is already running pretty long, so I'm going to leave it there. This has been 2 more topics than I usually cover in one of these videos, so bear with me if some of the stuff seems a little scatterbrained, if some of it seems unorganized. I wrote this as I went. I just kind of went with it as it was, and it turned out as it did. So, with that, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and or nights. And if you live in California, hide your fucking straws. I'll see you in the next one, you fucking glorious cunts.